Welcome back to the third and final segment of the Loveland Report and Lone Ranger Show. We've been talking about how buyers should buy now. It's the right time to downsize. How do you do that correctly? And I'm going to dig into guaranteed buyouts. You know, all these commercials and radios and billboards you see saying, we'll buy your home.
Before you do that, let's talk about a couple of more of those listings.
I will. So I've got Conway Gardens here, right in Conway, 700,000, 3,100 square feet with a pool and 3/4 of an acre.
Beautiful.
So, and that probably needs a little bit of a renovation. I mean, it's livable the way it is. Master bath could be redone, but beautiful property. Guest apartment, 2-car garage, and 3/4 of an acre.
And how much is that one?
That's $699. And then I've got one in realtors. All of my listings have co-brokes, and I don't play any games with that. So 3 bedrooms, 2 baths with a pool in Apopka for $350,000 on half an acre. 1,300 square feet. So this is right over by the 429, all that growth, no homeowners association. Inside's all done. You don't need to do anything to it. And it's already been inspected. AC, and the seller will do a new AC and fix the Fed. They've got a Federal Pacific panel they're going to fix too. That's already been done. For $260,000, starter home, Bruce, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, tired of paying rent, 900 square feet, half acre lot, 1-car carport, 1-car garage, plenty of room to add on. But 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, all tile throughout the house, kitchen's renovated, everything's done for $260,000.
Beautiful.
So who says you
There's
can't get a good house below 300?
Who says you can't get one? That's
and then
right.
I've got now pool homes in Hunters Creek are selling for about $500,000, Bruce. This house is $452,000. This is a pool home, 1,900 square feet, pre-foreclosure with a 2-car garage, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, plus a den. And it has a pool, needs some screens, needs some paint. Yard's a great size. Kids can hop the back fence to the middle school, go out the front gate to the elementary. Very great neighborhood. $452,000 on that property.
It's a nice property.
Yep.
So let's talk about buyers and buying opportunities, because we've seen the rates come down. We're down. I mean, rates are down. Your average rate is 6.5 or 6.3%. That's your average rate. So if you got great credit, you can expect it. If you're a veteran, you can expect to be in the 5s. If you're at FHA, you could get into the 5s as well. I actually was working with a client and buying down their rate on an FHA loan to 4.75%. Now the seller was paying a crud loan of points to do it.
Okay.
But he'd never have to refi.
Yeah.
He's not going to have to refi being in the 4s. So you could do it. So if you really wanted to attract somebody and you had a $500,000 house and you're willing to pay 6% toward their closing costs, we could get a rate down for a decent buyer in the 4s.
And I just had a property like that where the buyer did need 6%. We ended up actually, after I helped the other agent, this is my listing, another agent brought an offer asking for 6%. And when I looked at the loan amount, I was like, wait a minute, I think you can do it for 5%. They checked with their lender. They were right. But I knew my numbers. Now we ended up selling for 2% above list price. So my seller gave 3% off his price. He was listed for 320. We actually got like a 310 list price. Like his net was like 310.
Yep.
And the sales price was 329.
Yeah.
So with the extra points.
It all works out.
That's all. And what's so funny is this realtor didn't quite understand what I was talking about. She's like, I've heard of this. I'm like, no, I kid you not, Bruce. And she wrote a decent offer.
I've heard of that.
You know how many people, yeah. You know how many people I had showing that house, couldn't find the lockbox, couldn't open the lockbox, couldn't show up on time for an appointment. This was the best price home around. In fact, it was one of my listings. We advertised it last week and we got the offer. So if you want
that's something you do for your sellers too, is we promote your properties.
Well,
we also do that with our builders. If we feel like there's a good connection with a builder that we like and we like their product, we'll help them. We help them all the time.
How is new construction doing right now?
Well, from all the builders I'm talking to, I mean, there are some pockets that are doing exceptionally well, but most builders are just going to hold off and see. So it'll be interesting to see what new housing starts are. So we have some numbers coming out this week.
Last week, I saw some nationwide numbers where starts were down slightly.
Yeah. Yeah. So sales are going to be one thing, starts are another. So when we start to see new home starts building up, we know that there's there's builder confidence in the future. And right now I'm not seeing that happening, but here's the problem. Everybody believes that we should be in decent rates by March. Okay. Yeah. They're already good, but they're going to get a little better, right? Good. Assuming by March. Well, if you're a builder and it takes you 6 to 9 months to build a house, wouldn't you want to start now? Because you don't want to be short of inventory and then have more buyers than properties.
Well, this is another reason why we don't have distressed properties right now. And the builders are doing very well. You know, back in 2008, they all built 50 homes, delivered them all at once. And then the buyers went away.
Yes.
Right now, they're very strategic. Okay, we're going to deliver 3 or 4 or 5 a month. They know their pace.
Yes.
And they know what sells, and they watch it, and they're very careful with that. And that's good. It's good for the market.
Well, if you are looking to connect with a builder, Cleve can connect you with any builder out there. Don't go to a builder site and sign without a real estate agent. All you've done is hurt you. Do the builders charge the buyer more if they use a realtor?
No, they don't.
Of course they don't.
Some of them are hooked up with some of these will buy your house outfits. And I just had a lady, and I'm going to get more details on this because I'm going to end up helping her. I'm helping arrange her sale, and the number I'm getting for her is about $80,000. Let's say $60,000 more than
their buyout.
She couldn't quite understand what they were saying because they were talking out of both sides of their mouth.
They usually
do. They tried to give her, and then they weren't the actual ones giving the number.
Oh boy!
There's another foreign body. They sent over 4 situations of a very pretty pre-printed package. But even I couldn't follow exactly what they were saying.
And if you can't,
and my seller was very intelligent, asking good questions, and she kept getting doublespeak, and she recognized that. Yeah. So anyway, I helped her with that. So those guys are usually going to
go through with it.
On my end, yeah, I'm going to help them.
But they're not going to do.
They're not doing the 6. That's basically getting 60% of what the house is really worth.
Well, that's insane. Plus, you pay. It's probably still paying like a bridge they're doing.
Probably still paying fees. There could be the Wild West of investors because the investor that showed up was not the name on the.
They want to do an assignable contract.
So assignable and all that. It's just craziness. But if you want to have the right real estate plan,
true.
It is.
You know what Mama said.
But with the builders out there, I've got Hardison Homes building townhomes for $299. I've got single family out there. Bruce, you got Trinity. They're still kicking up a large amount.
Trying to get Hardison on board here to get me on as their approved lender. Yep. We'll see how that goes.
You go visit the subdivisions, but the builders are still they're buying the rate down for you, so you could end up in the 5s easily.
Sure, right? You could. Absolutely, you could. Yep. No question about it. So listen, I want to talk about interest rates. So interest rates right now are hovering national average on a conventional loan is running about 6.25%, 6.3%. So that is a whole lot better than it was a year ago, a lot better than it was a year and a half ago. So we are really going in the right direction, but interest rate actually got a little better just before the Fed cut.
Yep.
And I told everybody they could get worse. Mm-hmm. Now they didn't get worse, not like they did the last 3 cuts before. Yep. They got horrible after that. Yep. So we've been relatively flat, but we've lost 28 basis points as of today. So not horrible, but not a gain. Mm-hmm. So rates were actually better the week before the Fed cut. What did I tell everybody?
Yep.
The 3 weeks before the Fed cut is your sweet spot.
Yep.
Not after.
And we got another one coming on my birthday, October 29th. So
we do. That is exactly right. It is Cleve's birthday on October 29th. And that is when the Feds coordinated their meeting so they could do another Fed cut.
I would like another cut. That would help. I think.
Well, I think you're going to get a happy birthday on that one. And it's going to be a 1/4 point cut more than likely.
But the main thing is people need to get in touch with you, get their application in, and then you can tell them because you can lock people or you can float them down if rates do drop.
Absolutely. If rates drop further, we can do a float down option. But right now is the time to buy because there's 3 more sellers than a buyer for every house. There's 35% more sellers, and sellers, you can still sell. I mean, people can't, without you, we have nothing. So we need you to sell a home.
Yep.
But we need you to be able to work with a buyer so we can help them put the deal together because buyers still struggle with affordability. They still struggle with payments, even though interest rates are lower. So they struggle with those things and they struggle with down payment. So if you can cover their closing costs, we can do a little rate buy down. We can make a deal. And I'm not telling you got to cut your sales price and give closing costs. We can work deals out that's beneficial for everyone.
And that's the problem is most realtors don't know how to do that math because they don't have a sales manager. They don't have a boss. They don't have a team down the hallway. They can go ask the team leader how to do this. A lot of realtors have gone virtual, Bruce. There's 19,000, I think, in Central Florida.
Virtual.
They don't have an office, and there's some compliance office they send stuff to. There might be some training webinars they can watch, or some training videos, but there's not just real world experience wandering through those offices.
No. Doesn't happen.
And that's one of the sad thing is they could have a good buyer in their car. And I recognize this. I've been doing this long enough, but for the past 17 years, I've seen this get worse and worse, but I can recognize a buyer. I got a good pre-qual letter. I got a decent offer, But and then when I ask questions of the agent, I can say, hey, did you check out the sales?
We know you're right. It's when people call me, I'll get calls from people and they go, I'm getting quoted this rate from this lender. If you don't think I already know what everyone can do in terms of the market, you are you are underestimating my powers.
Yep.
And those are some of the only powers I have. Hey, what do you think about this whole thing about them eliminating property taxes?
What came of that meeting yesterday or this week?
Well, I don't know if anything's
they were getting together on how to do it.
But listen to what I'm gathering, and I don't know all the details, but what I heard, and I heard more today, that you would pay a 5% fee when you buy a home, which if that happened, the housing market's going to literally collapse. There's no way buyers can come up with that. I don't know how they would work that into it. You would pay that'd be a fee that you'd pay up front, but you'd have no property taxes. So I think that sounds good when you say it fast.
Your property taxes are usually 1 to 2% of your
They're usually about
price.
1 to 1.2%.
Okay.
That's about right.
Now, if the state held a bond on that, like they hold a bond.
Yeah, but then if they hold a bond, then you got liens on your properties and all kinds of other things.
I don't know. We'll see how they work it out. I trust DeSantis to do something right.
Here's what I would like. I'll tell you what would work for me. Fair property taxes. I think we should all pay property taxes. Okay, period.
Well,
I think we should pay property. Here's what I don't think. We need to eliminate capital gains on any primary residence, no matter how much your profit is.
But eliminating some or part of the property taxes affects everybody.
Local.
That's a thing that doesn't happen a lot. Now, that's an IRS change.
It is an IRS
not a local government change, not a Florida thing.
But there should never be. And I don't know about this. Let us know, your listeners.
I haven't seen any articles on it yet.
How this would work? Could we eliminate property taxes? Because Seminole County's already screaming and yelling that they're into a deficit already. They're raising their taxes by 5%.
We need to send Doge over there. Well, they'll figure out.
They'll figure out the short.
Seminole County's notorious for that.
Or whatever her name is.
Well, that's why it's Eskimo. Yeah, there you go, libtard. But that's whatever they figure out. I mean, if it's a 1 or 2 point premium on the sale up front, that would help because I got to pay. Usually, the buyers escrowing taxes anyway are paying taxes at that point.
Yep.
How they spread it out over a couple, I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, if they did lay that in up front, that would be hard. But the buyer would be able to afford. If the buyer's got, let's say it's $7,000 in taxes, and all of a sudden the taxes are $3,000, that's $400 a month savings. If the buyer had to finance in that one part up front.
Yeah, but if you at 5%, they said 5%. Now you just think about that.
Yeah.
On a $500,000 house, you're paying
25
grand up front.
Yep.
How many people would that eliminate? If you had to finance that in, how many people would that eliminate? Now I don't have to count a tax against you. So now I don't have to take that tax month on a monthly basis, but you still have to qualify for something. Maybe it's because you're amortizing it over a longer period of time.
Well, I trust you guys. Ron, your boss is so smart. He'll come up with something.
Yeah, but these are taxes. We can't change county taxes. Ron's smart guy.
Well, you can change the loan products. I mean, you guys always do. You guys come up with all the products.
With all kinds of different things. Hey, you want to reach Cleve Loveland? He can be reached right now at 407-352-8118 or cleveloveland.com. The Loan Arranger, Bruce Woodburn. That is me. I've been in the mortgage business for over 35 years, and I am right here in your backyard, and I'm here to help you, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your employees, whatever you need. Purchase money, refinances, new construction, renovation loan, reverse mortgages for all of you folks that are getting up there and you don't want a mortgage payment. I've got every kind of program, self-employed bank statement programs, DSCR investor programs, unbelievably popular. I've got every program you need. We're a direct lender. I'm not brokering this stuff out. We don't start off with a hard credit pull. We start off with a soft credit pull. Everything that you've asked me for, I've got for you. There's no reason for you not to call the Loan Arranger. 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com. Have a great weekend.
All right. Loveland Properties, 407-352-8118. Have a great weekend.